Unidos takes us through this journey, I think, of discovery, as you kind of mentioned. There's different workshops that we go through, and each workshop that I participated in, I either discovered something about myself or reinforced something that I knew about myself. It's important to run for office, or it's important to get involved in leadership opportunities. Don't be afraid, do it, even if you're scared about it. You're not supposed to know everything or understand everything. A true leader learns along with everybody else and shares their own knowledge.
Yo recomiendo a Unidos a otra gente para crecer como una comunidad latina y unida, con todos profesionales aquí en Oregon. Tenemos una relación bien bonita y con Unidos sí se puede lograr eso. Somos tantos como en diferentes lugares y ahora estamos unidos.
So you go away and you leave your family behind and everybody behind, and you go and you do this really intense, emotional, high impact work with a skilled facilitator that really gets you to a place where you get opened up and you expose yourself, and you really come to terms with all those things that we often struggle with around oppression, social justice, and the reasons that we all come together, that thing that we all have in common. Yes, we're all Latino, we have that in common, but I think more importantly, we're all passionate about our communities.
Unidos is one of the few programs that I'm aware of that brings practitioners from different industries, from business, from education, from government, from nonprofit, together in one collective. And it's the only time we have a chance to talk to one another about who we are and where we're going as a community outside of our disciplines. And that doesn't exist anywhere else, only with Unidos.
One of the playwrights we worked with asked us to open our hearts. And he showed the image of sort of opening your chest up and taking your heart out and showing your heart. And that was powerful for me because as an educator, my heart comes out very strategically for very particular reasons, and more often than not it's closed up inside. And that has to be the way that I operate in terms of the work that I do. But just getting the sense that it's okay to open up the chest more often than let the heart come out.
One of the greatest things actually that I'm taking out of this is that I had the opportunity to learn about forgiveness. Not just forgiveness for myself, but forgiving others. I didn't have the opportunity to forgive myself as much as I thought I did. And learning how to forgive myself in one of the first sessions from Nancy was just a tremendous experience. Being able to learn that I forgive myself and being able to learn how to forgive others as well.
I would say I highly recommend that you consider it because it's a process that lets us grow internally, but also helps us grow externally. And as Latinos, I think this is a great way to connect us across the state, to empower us to say, hey, we no longer have to feel alone in our little isolated part of our community. We can now be a part of a bigger community that represents all of us and supports all of us. And I think that's a beautiful place for this to move everybody.
There's some issues that we go through in our workforce, in the community, in the state level, in the national level, that nobody wants to talk about. But within this cohort, we talked about all those things. What is equity? What's inclusion? What is diversity? And how do we come together as community leaders to work for better resources for our community? Because that's why we're here.
So it wasn't about, oh, I need to go to Unidos to find myself. It was more about, I'm gonna go to Unidos with the perspective that I'm there to discover the next step in the journey of leadership, which is about sitting back and letting others lead and finding ways that I can help support that. And it's really exciting. I back in the 80s, helped to start the Oregon Leadership Institute, which was, and actually helped to start OCHA and then the Oregon Leadership Institute. And what's great is to see all these young leaders that we had, hopes for when they were in high school. Some of them are in the Unidos class. And to be a part of that was wonderful. And it wasn't like, ooh, I must be really old because they're all here. It was more like this incredible source of pride.
As you go through the workforce, I feel like sometimes you change your goals. But this going through the process of Unidos made me go back and really what was my real goals in the first place. So that was a big moment for me, is that going back to my original goals when I was a teenager or when I was a child. What were my goals?
I will say that the collaboration that I think this group will have as far as impact on the future is huge. I think it's neat that we will all be there to support each other as we grow in our future endeavors. I don't see us ever falling away from being connected as a group and being supportive of each other. I think that's something that will be a lifetime of friendships and strong friendships, not just the kind of friends that are here, there, and gone tomorrow. These are people that we will be connected to, I will say, forever.
I think having that circle of many different Latinos across, like I said, all ages, all backgrounds, all perspectives, first generation, third generation, I mean, it really does create that sense of, yeah, we're all different, but we're all very connected. And I think that's what really has allowed for me to know, like, I'm finding my voice. I'm finding who I am as a person, as a woman, as a Latina, as somebody who's a younger generation. And I think all of those experiences has helped me in my professional career, the work that I do now. It's going to help, I think, open up doors for more relationships with other Latino leaders in Oregon.
I was having a lot of leadership issues, and I was lacking of confidence, where I didn't know what was happening to me. I knew I had a lot of skills, but somehow it was I was starting more and more to let go. That's what makes this program very powerful, and that's what makes it unique, is that whoever is part of this program is gaining not only personal leadership, but it's also that kind of support that comes at the state level.
Cuando empecé el programa, yo no tenía la menor idea que había una persona dentro de mí muy pequeña, muy niña, que cargaba ese peso del trauma, y estamos hablando de trauma de ser rechazada por la sociedad, de sentirse diferente, pero en una manera negativa, simplemente por ser latina. Yo me acepto. Yo me amo. Yo reconozco mi dolor. Y yo reconozco mi fuerza. Y yo soy libre y afortunada y amada. Y más que nada, yo importo.
Well, I think the thing that I got most out of the Unidos experience is knowing that there are so many Latinos out there in different shapes, sizes, genders, any issue, you name it, they're there. So it's something that I take comfort in knowing that we're not just one sort of static thing. We're progressing, we're moving forward. And if anything, the thing that unites us is sort of that struggle to be recognized, and that we are who we are, and that we're beyond this label of just Latinos. think if you took it and went deeper and deeper into that person, yes, you'd find their language, you'd find their where they grew up, you'd find all of that lived experience. That's what defines them, not necessarily this label. But there is that struggle to have the outside world recognize who we are as human beings. And that's sort of what I've taken from that.
I think I feel really fortunate to have met such incredible individuals that I feel extremely connected with, that I feel that are now that are really my family, another extended family. I feel that I've learned the importance of radical self-love. I feel that that's really what I've taken out of this experience, is the importance of radical self-love. Loving yourself, loving what you do, doing your life's work, and being of service to others, all at the same time.
I would say the biggest change was becoming a better listener. I learned that that's a very powerful tool to learn about the other person, to understand where they're coming from, and to try to find a solution to whatever the issue is.
A veces es difícil reconocer en cómo estás fallando, y me ayudó pues a comprenderme a mí misma para poder tratar a otras personas. O sea, no tener miedo de exteriorizar lo que tienes dentro de tu corazón o dentro de tu mente.
I'm not an outsider, I'm not a foreigner, I'm a person that I can contribute to this country. I know that I can do it, si se puede. And that's what Unidos provides you, really empower you and give you a lot of confidence and find different ways, different paths that you can impact the community.
Unidos helped me to understand that we are not victims. We are not victims of the past or our parents or anybody. But since we are not victims, we are not victimizers either. And that's a lot of freedom. And gives you hope and also helps you to accept yourself and accept others.
Just thank you. I mean, there's so much gratitude that I have within myself. To the Latino Network, to the funders, to the previous cohorts, to this cohort, I'm just in this work and I'm excited. I really am. I can't say excited too much, but that's it. And this really brought back that hope, that promise, that faith, and the strong beliefs that I had that it can only get better.